What's going on, guys?
What's up?
It's been a minute since my last video, but this was a very popular segment that I did last year, and it was highly requested, so I thought I'd bring it back. It's officially March,
March Madness.
and it's getting pretty mad, so my good old buddy Henry and I are going to take you through our predictions and reveal our first official bracket. So if you want to win your bracket challenge, with friends or family, I'd highly recommend, taking our picks. So here we go.
All right, we'll start off at the top with our first game of UConn versus Stetson.
Yeah,
No brainer, really. I
Yeah.
mean, Stetson's going to take it.
absolutely. Oh, yeah, no, quite a battle, but we will move UConn to the front.
Yep.
All
Yeah.
right, next up we got FAU versus Northwestern, 8-9 seed. Pretty close call, but FAU made it pretty far in the tournament last season, and honestly, I'm not a big fan of Northwestern. They're kind of a little bit too academic.
They're very reliant on one man, Boo Buie.
And-
And FAU has some great wins, like over Arizona. They have wins over some good teams this year. So I think we're going to take
Yeah.
FAU to the next round.
For sure. Next up, we got San Diego State versus UAB, another Final Four team from last year. And honestly, UAB, nobody even knows what that stands for. But we're going to go with them because they're a bit of a sleeper. And San Diego State sold my bracket last year. I'm not going to make that mistake again. Next up, we got Auburn Yale.
SEC champs, can't bet against them.
I was going
Hot
to
at
say
the end of the
Yale,
season.
but no, we can't bet against SEC. BYU and Descunia. It's a tough call, honestly, because
You can't bet against the Mormons.
yeah, we have a Mormon on our track team, and he's a good friend of ours, and we're gonna support him.
We're gonna
And
have to
honestly,
support him.
we don't even know how to pronounce Descunia.
Like, are they a real school? Like, that's got to be an AAU team.
Nope. Are they D1? All right, Illinois Morehead State. See, this is where a lot of people start thinking, 14-3, let me pick an upset.
Hell no.
But that's where you're wrong. All right, because Illinois, the fighting eyes,
Fighting Eyes.
and they're gonna
Illini.
fight the Illini. Yeah. Oh.
And they just won today, or
yeah.
day of Selection Sunday.
The day.
Big Ten tournament champs.
Mm-hmm.
They're not losing to Morehead State. Like,
Nope. Next on the docket, we got Washington State Drake 7-10, where you see a lot of upsets. But
Dude.
Washington State, they got
Pac-12.
two wins over Arizona.
2 wins over Arizona.
But Arizona's not a great team, so we may have to give this one to Drake.
how are you going to bet against the Pac-12? They have
All right.
Miles Rice, Pac-12 Freshman of the Year.
No, he's right.
They're a great defensive team.
We'll go with Washington State, and they might even make a future upset.
After that Drake leak on Twitter, we can't pick Drake. Like, come on.
It's true. It's a questionable photo for my audience under 18. I don't advise looking it up. Iowa State, Cyclones, boom. South
Yeah.
Dakota, a relevant ass state. Nobody's been there. I've never been there. I probably will never go there.
Nope.
North Carolina against Wagner.
Howard. Oh, Howard.
North Carolina, come on, man. Come on, man. They got Davis. Is that his
RJ
name?
Davis.
He could win that game. It could be a 1v5, and they'd still win, honestly. Mississippi State, Michigan State.
I mean, how do you bet against Izzo and
I was
Marsh?
going to say,
Like,
Tom Izzo, 26 seasons in a row. The Spartans.
They always come in clutch. They always
I mean,
come in clutch.
Blue blood for a reason.
The Antelopes against St. Mary's.
Ah,
I mean, relevant-ass game, really. Like, neither of these teams are making it far, but
but we got to choose one.
I would go Grand Canyon.
We'll go Grand Canyon because
They have a great record. I think they have somewhere in 3 to 5 losses. They won their conference tournament, and they're named after a national park. Like,
Yeah.
not many schools
Yep.
named after a national park.
I've been to the Grand Canyon.
Yep, beautiful place.
Beautiful, beautiful. Never been to St. Mary's.
No,
Um,
is that a person?
it's a saint, I
Yeah.
guess. I mean, shout out Mary. I try to be religious, but
Nah.
not when it
Not-
comes to basketball,
Nope.
man. Let's go. All right, Alabama, Charleston. This is tough because
This
our
is a
hands
good
are
game.
kind of tied.
CAA.
Got the CAA roots,
Yeah.
but at the same time, it's Alabama.
It's Alabama. It's the Crimson
All right.
Tide.
There's baddies at Alabama, and we're not going to disappoint them.
We cannot. We cannot make
Absolutely
them mad.
not. It's not our
Well,
fault
that's
here.
not on the docket for today.
All right, Clemson, New Mexico. I don't know if any of you are familiar with a man named Halftam Samuel.
He's a dog. Number 2 NCAA all-time 10K the other day.
Pretty good.
Sub 27. I mean, he's gonna put the team on his back.
There are rumors he may start.
He's gonna be in the starting lineup, starting PG for New Mexico.
Yeah, but Clemson. Also,
Who's on Clemson?
I don't know. That's why we're not going with
New
them.
Mexico.
All right, Baylor, Colgate. I brush my teeth with
That's a
it.
toothpaste brand. They're
All right.
not winning.
Taylor is gonna, or Baylor, not Taylor.
Taylor.
Dayton, Nevada. You know, my mom grew up in Dayton, but you know,
Good
some of
place.
us are very high on Nevada, so it's kind of a toss-up. But I think Dayton will fly.
Dayton.
Over
Hey, they're
Nevada.
called the Flyers for a reason.
Yeah, that's fine. So, Long Beach State in Arizona, another
I
tough
mean,
one.
Not really tough at all. I mean, Arizona, you can't really talk enough about that team. Just an amazing team in general, and they're going to take this game by 40 points.
We're both pretty high. I'm not as high in Arizona, but you know, Henry's very high in Arizona.
Very high this year.
And I'll try and support him as a friend. Houston, Longwood, you know, we like to support Virginia, but the Cougars, man, they're just some dogs. They're
I
gonna
don't even know if Longwood's
steal
going to score
Longwood.
this game. They're probably not going to score.
Definitely not. Nebraska, Texas A&M. Ooh,
You cannot bet against the Japanese
Nebraska.
dude.
Oh yeah.
Dude, he makes so many threes.
I don't know
He's
who
a
you're
dog.
talking about, but yeah, he's good.
He's got the headband.
Is he on Nebraska?
He's on Nebraska.
All right, then we'll go with
Trust
them.
me.
The Nebraska women's basketball team is very talented as well. So.
we know a lot about the Nebraska women's basketball team.
Ooh, Wisconsin JMU. A lot of people would pick the 12 upset in this case.
And we will too.
And we will
have,
too.
We have so many guys that we love at JMU. I mean, in-state team,
The Dukies.
3 losses, wins against Michigan State.
31 and
They're
3.
hot. They're hot.
Extremely. Oh, see, this is where it could get crazy. Everyone talking about Duke this, Duke that, Jared McCain this, 2 days into college.
I'm 2 days into college.
Like, I don't
he's a
care.
dog. He's making some good TikTok dances, man.
Yeah, but that's not going to translate to the basketball court. I think we're going to go with a big upset here and choose Vermont, okay?
Yeah.
Oh, another potential
I
upset.
mean, NC State's won 5 straight in the ACC tournament.
Coming off an ACC title against the UNC. You know, they're
Texas
hot.
Tech's a good team, though. It's a really tough game. Could
Yeah,
go
but
either way.
It could, really could, so we're going to rock, paper, scissors. If I win, we'll go NC State. Ah,
Oh.
Texas Tech.
Texas Tech stays alive.
Woo. Oakland, Kentucky.
Hey, give me that motherfucker Reed Shepherd.
Yes, sir. Kentucky on the
Reed
map.
Shepherd.
Florida, Colorado, or Bowie State.
It's gonna be Colorado.
Yeah,
And
I
they're gonna
agree.
win.
Deion,
The
man.
Buffaloes.
Deion Sanders.
Deion Sanders is gonna come. He's gonna sub in for the Colorado coach. He's gonna go on the sideline in the NCAA tournament. And he's gonna lead them boys to win over Florida.
You heard it here. Shadir, man. Shadir.
Hey,
Marquette, Western Kentucky. Come on, man. We already picked one Kentucky school. It's enough.
yeah.
Purdue, Montana State.
Give me Purdue.
You know,
Zach Edey.
I'm actually very high in Purdue. You know, last year they lost in the first round to a 16 seed.
It's not gonna happen 2 years in a row.
I don't know if you remember the last time that happened. It was 2019. The University of Virginia lost in the first round to a 16. Guess what happened that next year? Or it was 2018 they lost. Guess what happened that next year? They won the whole thing.
Hey,
So I'm not saying.
history's gonna repeat itself, possibly. Well, I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, I'm not saying, but I'm saying. Utah State, TCU, both terrible teams.
I mean, this is gonna be a hard game to watch. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, but
I mean,
you know, we just picked a school from Texas, which puts me on the fence. But we also picked BYU.
yeah, it's really just like
So,
I mean, it's the Christians versus the Mormons again.
and this has happened multiple times. throughout
This
history,
happens a
and-
lot, and I mean, really, the Christians have more firepower.
Yeah,
at this point.
unfortunately.
I mean, I hate to say it, guys, but you
Christians.
guys only have Utah.
Christians will take this one. Gonzaga, McNeese.
I mean, really, McNeese is the hot upset pick, and for a good reason. Three losses the whole season. Gonzaga's been shaky. They picked it up towards the end of the season, but I
Yeah.
mean, their name is McNeese. Like, that's fire.
That's tough. You know, I've never
Like,
heard of them, but
And they're coming in like they're a good school, man. Like
pretty
I
hot. You know,
We love these 12-5 upsets, but I mean, we gotta keep picking them if they're gonna hand us up on a platter like that.
yeah, like they're probably not gonna win, but we gotta go with them just
Yeah.
to support. Kansas, Samford. You know, every time I hear Samford, I think of Stanford. And Stanford beat Arizona. So
Did they?
Stanford beat Arizona,
Oh
you
my
know,
God,
by
man,
19
right.
points. And Kansas, you know, they can have that win from 2 years ago.
How
but
many
they're-
4 seeds have we picked though?
Let's see. We've picked 1 4 seed. We've picked 2 4 seeds.
Oh, and 113. I mean, we only get 113 4 upset a year statistically, so
So statistically, we'll keep with Kansas.
yeah.
But for all you watching, if Samford wins, you know,
Yeah,
it'll be an I'll told you so. Oh, South Carolina, Oregon. You know, I'm very high in South Carolina, but I'm even more high in Oregon.
I mean, they just won the Pac-12 championship. And I mean, they beat Arizona. We keep saying all these teams beat Arizona.
Yeah.
They did beat Arizona.
Yeah, they did beat Arizona, you know.
I mean, the Fighting Ducks. I mean, they got cool ass jerseys too. Like I'll tell you that.
Very relevant. They just got a new track stadium
Yeah.
a couple years ago. Hayward
Yeah,
Stadium.
Simeon Birnbaum does go to Oregon, so
Yeah, just a really good program. A lot of good talent from there. So
we'll go with Oregon.
yeah, Creighton Akron. You know, I'm a LeBron hater
Got to go with Creighton.
and a Creighton lover, so we'll go with Creighton. Texas, CSU, UVA. You
I
know,
mean, we love to see UVA. We're gonna pretend that UVA is in this game.
yeah, we
but,
are. We are. They most likely will win.
Yeah,
And-
with a score of 40-20. But
Yeah. Facts. You know, it's a tough call here. You know, both my parents went to UVA, but you know, I go to William Mary, so it's like, you know, a lot of my friends go to UVA.
it's your call, man.
But I go to William & Mary. But we just chose Texas City. We're going UVA. I'm sorry. I had to do it. There's still a part of me. So we're going UVA. All right, Tennessee St. Peter's.
I mean, we know about that St. Peter's run to the
Yeah,
Elite Eight.
We
a
know
couple
about
years
it.
ago.
We know about it, but it won't happen again.
It will not happen again, ladies and
Come
gentlemen.
on now. Everyone that made that run happened,
They're gone.
Doug Ebert. They hit the transfer portal, all right?
I mean, is there a guy with a white guy with a mustache on the team right now? We got to look at the scouting
No.
report, but I'm pretty sure there isn't. So
Check the Instagram.
No,
There's
nope.
not.
All right, we're gonna go back to the top here. Round of 32 now.
UConn FAU. Both in the Final Four last year. Both will meet in the second round. I'm high on UConn.
I mean, you can't bet against you. Like, UConn doesn't lose. They
They
don't
UConn.
lose.
All right. We'll take them over FAU. UAB over and Auburn.
UAB Auburn. Both Alabama schools, actually.
Yeah.
Wow. Bama matchup in the second round.
Yep.
I mean,
We discovered UAB's in Alabama. And Auburn's in Alabama. Yeah.
Auburn is in Alabama.
Didn't know that. No, I'm just kidding. But you know, it's a pretty obvious choice here.
Oh my God, the Tigers.
Tigers are gonna keep moving. BYU Illinois. This is where
Oh.
things might get a little shaky.
I mean, the Mormons are strong, man.
I'm a big fan of
telling
BYU.
you. I'm a
They
big
got
fan of BYU.
Nice facility. They're training at altitude.
I mean, dude, where's this game being played? I don't know, but if it's anywhere near altitude,
Not at
give
altitude.
give it to BYU.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Even if it isn't at altitude.
They have an advantage. Their lungs are bigger.
And the thing about these games is they're a lot longer because more commercial breaks, more timeouts, potential for OT. This is going to be their second game in a row, so Illinois is already going to be tired. But BYU is going to recover quicker because there's more air. And for that reason,
Yep.
we'll have them advance into the Sweet 16.
Yep.
Iowa State versus Washington State. Two states.
Two states. This is the first time we've had the two states so far.
Never seen that
Interesting.
before. Both great teams.
Great teams.
Both coming in with a lot of energy, and they're just locked in, rolling.
I mean, I've seen the energy myself. It's really great to watch.
Witnessed it. Two wins over Arizona, as we've previously stated. But Iowa State, man, 20-point win over Houston, the number
they just
2
won the
seed
Big
in the
12
country.
champs. Yeah, they're a great team.
I kind of want to keep it going, but I kind of don't.
I mean, I'm a big fan of Pac-12 schools advancing.
We'll
you
keep
know?
Washington State in the
State
map.
in it. Miles
All
Rice,
right.
baby. Miles
Come on,
Rice.
baby.
If
Come
you beat
on.
Arizona, you're going far.
Come on, UNC, Michigan State. You know, we love Tom Izzo. All right, but this is probably his last year as a coach.
Yeah, he's gonna be gone. Look, he's old.
He's
I
getting
mean,
pretty old. And UNC, man, they just got that blue blood in them.
they got that blue blood.
Grand Canyon, Alabama.
Oh, this is a tough one. This really is.
Nail biter.
This is gonna be a good game no matter what, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, but at the end of the day, you know, Alabama's pretty flat. All right, they don't have
They don't have a canyon.
They don't have canyons.
Where are the canyons in Alabama?
Nowhere. So if this basketball game, if the terrain is, you know, not flat, Alabama's losing.
I mean, if it's a straight flat game, Alabama's gonna win. But you know, their bumps, they're craters in the game. So
Yeah.
Grand Canyon's got a real advantage.
True. Also very defensive in their gameplay.
Yeah.
I think that's going to really help them. So
Yep. Grand
we'll
Canyon.
go Grand Canyon advancing. New Mexico Baylor. Wow.
Habtem Samuel versus
Versus
the guys at Baylor.
versus the 2017 Baylor Bears, but the poor man's version.
Yeah. I mean, we already have a 12 seed going
yeah.
far. Yeah.
You know, you can't pick too many upsets.
No.
You want around 12 on average per
Yeah.
tournament
Statistically,
pick. We're probably exceeding that
we're
already.
probably going far, but which means we have to go with
Ooh.
the clear winner here is Arizona. Like
You know, it pains me to do it, but
Caleb Love, Kelly Larson, Keyshawn Johnson, Omar Ballo,
a lot
Kylan
of
Boswell.
a lot of talent.
A lot of talent on that
A
team.
lot of talent. And they're in the Arizona Sun, so they're well acclimated. Dry
Yep.
heat.
Yep.
All right, switching over to the South region, we got number 1 Houston taking on number 8 Nebraska. You know, Houston's been plagued with a few injuries recently.
They have they?
Yeah,
They have.
I think. You know, I could just be making that up. Not sure actually, but both teams are red.
That's a good point.
And honestly, I kind of want to go Nebraska here.
You want to go to Nebraska?
I kinda wanna go
man,
Nebraska.
It's a bold pick, but
Yeah.
I'm down.
I think the South region is going to get pretty crazy.
It's gonna be crazy.
A lot of these teams don't even originate in the South. You know, Vermont. I don't know where Marquette is, but Nebraska, Vermont. And yeah.
I mean, we got James Madison, Vermont here, and
Yeah.
JMU, man.
JMU
They're on a
Dookies.
roll.
They're rolling.
They are on a roll.
They're going to keep going.
They're
Vermont
gonna-
is a terrible team. They barely are going to beat Duke in the first round.
Jared McCain's gonna go 0 for 7 from the 3-point line.
Yeah, his
That's the only
eyes-
reason. But James Madison won't do that.
Nope. Texas Tech, Kentucky. Man.
Oh, I gotta stick with my boy Reed here.
Yeah, Kentucky, underrated, you know? Every year they're overrated. But this year they've
Now,
kind of fallen off the
finally.
map, and now they're
Yeah.
underrated.
Yeah, I mean, they're kind of a sneaky 3 seed in there, but I think it's
Sneaky.
worth it.
Cheeky little 3 seed, Marquette, Colorado. Crazy.
Colorado is good. They
Colorado's
have a projected
good.
top 5 pick right now. I actually don't know his name, but I know they have a projected top 5 pick.
Yeah,
right
and
now.
that's no joke. But Marquette, man. you know,
Tyler Kolek.
Yeah, they can hang with the top dogs, and I
Mhm.
think the fact that they've played so much high level competition, you know, UConn, you know, St. John's, you know, Villanova, a lot of Big East schools. Whereas Colorado, who are they playing? They're just
Arizona.
signing NIL deals, flexing the watch. They don't got the
They,
reps.
they
in.
didn't win against Arizona, which is the big thing we're looking at right here. They did not
That's
win
kind of the
against
main
Arizona.
metric we're basing all these games off. So we're gonna give it to the Scarlet Knights,
The Golden Eagles.
the Golden Eagles, Purdue, TCU, Zach Edey.
Hey, they're winning.
No,
They're
we're
winning.
pretty high on them, and we're gonna keep them rolling. McNeese, Kansas. See, this is where it gets crazy because McNeese. Let's be honest, not a great team. Not a great team, but
Kansas isn't a great team either.
Kansas is a worse team. Middle of nowhere. It's gonna be a long flight all the way to New York.
Lots of injuries with that team right now, I'll tell you that.
A lot of injuries. The Jayhawks, you know,
Yeah.
nobody wants them to win.
Nobody wants them to win.
For that reason, we're taking McNeese. Oregon Creighton, man. 11-3 matchup. You know, you love to see it. A lot can happen here.
A lot can happen.
And I kind of want to see the Fighting Ducks, you know,
Ducks,
fighting to the round of
Quack, quack.
30 or round of 16.
Sweet 16.
Creighton, you know, they're had a pretty good run last year. They're about as good, but I just think they're going to choke at the end of the day. Ooh, UVA, Tennessee.
UVA is going to score about 40 points. If
Yeah.
Tennessee puts up more than that, then they're winning the game.
Which-
So,
Statistically speaking,
yeah, it's
they
probably
probably
gonna
are.
happen. Yeah.
You know, I love UVA, but the slow basketball they play,
It doesn't work.
just it's not effective in the
Not
tournament.
fun to watch. We don't want to see that.
So I think Tennessee's going to shoot lights out. You know, a couple 360 dunks and just send UVA back to Charlottesville, unfortunately.
Yeah.
All right.
Sweet 16 time. UConn
Oh.
Auburn.
We're in the Sweet 16. Okay, UConn Auburn. Wow. You know, I'm high on Auburn, and statistically speaking, 1 seeds have made it pretty far.
They
you
make
know.
it far every year, and UConn's just two stopping them.
They're even better than last year, and they won last year. So, you know,
They're gonna
using
win.
that information, we can deduce that
Yeah, they're gonna win.
they're going to win that game at least.
And then we got a great matchup here.
6 and 7 seed, man. BYU,
Wow.
Washington State.
Yeah, it's a great game, and
You know,
I love my Mormons. I'll tell you that much.
I do too. I think they're underrated. You know, I think a lot of people write BYU off. Oh, they're only a track school. Oh, they only have Connor Mance.
I mean, just look at their basketball team right now. They're in March Madness.
Pretty great. You know, I understand that. Never mind, I won't say it. But yeah, I think BYU is going to keep moving on.
Yep.
North Carolina, Grand Canyon. Wow, you know, we've been pretty high in Grand Canyon. Probably over high on them. But, you know, they're not going to win this.
Yeah, unfortunately not.
North Carolina is going to meet.
Caleb Love is facing his
Caleb
old
Love.
team. Matchup of the century in the
Wow.
NBA. This is going to be a fun one to watch, ladies and gentlemen.
Just a quick tip: when picking these brackets, you got to think about the storylines.
Yeah.
This is an iconic storyline. Caleb Love transfers to Arizona because UNC doesn't make the tournament. UNC becomes the number one seed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Arizona becomes a 2 seed in their region. Like, this is the script. The script writers are having a field day with this one.
It's crazy. And on the other side, we got a Cinderella matchup: Nebraska, an 8 seed against JMU, the 12 seed.
Wow.
The Dukies, man.
The Dukies versus the
The
Cornhuskers.
Dukies are gonna duke all over Nebraska. The Cornhuskers are gonna go back to the fields
Yep.
and pick corn. I don't know what
I don't know what else they do
what
there,
they're picking.
really.
It's a pretty nice weather right now, so it's probably good. It'll probably be pretty.
It'll be a
fun.
good time there.
Kentucky Marquette, man.
Wow.
Crazy matchup compared to Nebraska JMU.
Yeah.
And honestly, I think we got to keep it rolling.
We got to keep it rolling, man.
Yeah. With Kentucky, baby. And Marquette, I love them. But every year they're always right there.
They're just a little shaky. I mean, they're just not consistent enough to make it. And Kentucky
Kentucky's been there.
They've been there.
They've been there before.
They know what they're doing.
A young man named
Reed Shepherd.
Yeah. Reed Shepherd.
Reed Shepherd. The White Mamba.
Purdue McNeese. You know, we've been pretty high on McNeese.
12 seeds don't make it to the Elite Eight.
They just don't.
Still.
They just don't. And for that reason, we'll take Purdue. 12 seeds don't make it to the Elite Eight.
But 11 seeds
But
do.
11 seeds
But
do,
11
baby.
seeds do.
All right?
Oregon. They make runs all the time. Look at the past brackets that Oregon's been in. They made it to the Final Four like a couple of years ago. I think 2019.
Yeah,
They were there at one point. I promise you that. So
They shoot a lot of threes. And in this tournament,
you need threes.
you need threes. You know, you need twos as well, but you need threes.
Yep.
It's dangerous. All right. Elite Eight, baby. UConn, BYU.
UConn versus BYU, and man, the Mormons have made a great run, but
Yeah. What's the leader of the Mormons?
Joseph Smith.
You know, we
yeah.
love him, but he's only got so much.
He doesn't really know much about basketball, so
Yeah. He can only get them to the Elite Eight at the end of the day. So
He
we got
only has
UConn.
UConn's no brainer really.
Unfortunately, we wanted to keep BYU going, but we just couldn't.
They had a good run.
UNC Arizona. You know,
I mean, that's gonna be a great game. It's gonna be RJ Davis versus Caleb Love. Whoever plays better, they're gonna win that game.
and at the end of the day,
I think Caleb Love is better.
yeah,
I
and
mean,
I
really.
think RJ Davis is better, which is why we're gonna go back to the rock paper
my
scissors.
And Arizona advances to the Final Four, ladies and
That's
gentlemen.
crazy. Kentucky JMU. How did Kentucky get this? Or how did JMU get this? far? I'm
Really,
sorry.
how did they do that?
No idea.
I mean, look how lucky they got. They got played a 5 seed, a 13 seed, and an 8 seed to get to
That's
the Elite Eight.
extremely lucky.
Yeah,
But Kentucky's
Kentucky's just a better
roll
team.
them.
Yeah.
Ooh, Oregon,
I mean,
Purdue.
We gotta have at least 2 1 seeds in the Final Four. We look at this. You look at the statistics, and you gotta see
You know,
it.
we read the scientific literature, we annotated it,
Yep.
we read it again, we annotated it again, and what we have found is, you know, on average 2-1 seeds make the finals,
Yep.
which would mean Purdue's in.
I mean, after this crazy bracket, we get 1 through 3 seeds. Like really,
Really,
And that's what it takes.
that's what we want.
Yeah, that's
You know,
what we
keep
want.
it simple. That's another tip for your bracket. Final Four matchup: UConn, Arizona. You know,
I think Arizona is the team that really matches up with UConn the best out of everyone in this tournament.
I would agree. You know,
And,
Caleb Love.
I mean, they got Ballo up top to stop their big men.
Love him or hate him, you know.
Yeah, I mean, you got to roll.
We're going Arizona
You
at
gotta
this
roll
point.
with
You know, I didn't
Arizona.
want them to go this far, but they've somehow made it this far.
They're
So
just
we're
a
gonna
better
keep it
team than
going.
everyone else.
Kentucky, Purdue. Wow.
Wow.
You know, honestly, I've kind of been hinting at this from the beginning. Zach Edey,
How is anyone stopping Zach Edey on Kentucky?
comeback player of the year. You know, they lost last year, first round. What do you think they've been doing? They've been locked in,
Been
meditating,
locked in.
focusing. They've been visualizing. They've been visualizing this very game for 300 days, 365 days. It'll be 378 days at this point.
Yeah.
For that reason, we got them in the championship game. Arizona, Purdue, April 8th at State Farm Stadium. I'm actually interning at State Farm this summer.
And guess where this game is being played, ladies and gentlemen? Phoenix, Arizona. Who has the home court advantage in this game?
At this point,
Obviously, Arizona. The
Ooh.
stands are going to be packed with the red and blue. There's going to be no Purdue fans at all in the stadium.
yeah, but that's
It's going to be hard for Purdue to win this
that's what
game.
they want you to think.
It's really not. It's
But that's
really
what we
not.
think. For that reason, ladies and gentlemen,
Arizona is your national champion.
yeah, and we'll go, 85 to 84.
It's gonna be a close one.
So get ready. I'd buy tickets.
Caleb Love hits the game-winning shot. 1 second left in the game. He takes a deep three and it goes in. They win. That's what we're predicting right now.
That's what we're predicting. Thanks for tuning in.
Yep.
And best of luck with your bracket challenge this year.
I mean, if you want to win, just kind of copy us. But
got
do what you wish.
Pound it.
Noggin. See ya.